finding some emotional discomfort right now by you saying, I was done on day 2, but on day 3, you tell me you're catching feelings. On day 4, you're crying in my arms. On day 5, you're taking your...
pretty stressful
Can I
honeymoon
finish?
week, yeah.
On day 5, you're telling me thank you for your patience.
Part of me wants to fake, that I'm surprised about Michael's response in regards whether he wants to stay married or divorced. But then the other part of me really knew that as soon as Chloe opened her mouth and said she wanted to foster 5 kids at a time plus have an old McDonald in the back garden, he shut down. That's the impression that I get. And then in regards Lauren and Orion, I'm here for Lauren. Finally, she gets her moment to tell everybody to keep quiet. I am talking. Allow me to speak. And really tell Orion the truth about himself because he thought he was the Izzy. But anyway, I digress. Hey there. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click the like button. Turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. Share and definitely leave a comment. It's your girl Valerie. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight, season 17, episode 23. Listen, it's too long. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired. Can it end, please? Can it end? Apparently, next episode will be the reunion. I can't wait. Anyway, so you have, Chloe meet up with her friend Caesar just to discuss where she is in regards to her marriage and what her decision is likely to be on decision day. And she sort of seems like she wants to continue in this marriage. She sees, that there is hope and that they can be successful. But obviously Michael feels some type of way. And it's like, Michael checked up the moment you said you wanted, 5 foster children and you wanted so many dogs and cats and everything else. And he didn't want an old McDonald life. He still is trying to sort of define what his life is going to be or what his life is going to look like. He's looking for a wife, and then once he finds a wife, then he can come up with a plan. Not a wife who's already got her plan in place and just needs a husband to sort of fill in the map. That's not what he wants. You then have everyone's confessionals about, we're getting ready for this group meetup, we're excited, this, that, and the other. And it's like, oh God, why? I think the concept of the group, I saw online people saying they need to stop. The concept of the group was meant to build and help people navigate their marriages by advising each other, by sort of looking out for one another. And sadly, in this group, what it's done is it's served to sort of fracture marriages and sort of cause sort of a lot of disruption in people's marriages, because even when they meet up, obviously Brennan decided not to come. I think he doesn't want to be in the same space with Emily unless needed. And having seen a couple of clips of Emily from the after party, I get where he's coming from. I never thought I'd defend Brennan, but I have to say so. If you're on Instagram, go to the Mavs page and you'll see clips of Emily, a side that we never saw. I thought she was always the sweetest thing, the most humblest thing, but seeing clips of her sort of having a back and forth with Keisha, or her insisting that whether or not Cameron had a medical procedure, he still needed to come. And it's like, no, everybody's medical history is different. We all saw how panicked he was when he kept looking at his heart rate every time he was in a confessional or every time he was filming with someone. So the idea that you would want him to come, yes, it might be a simple procedure, but for him, you don't know what the other risk factors come with Cameron, so he doesn't need to be there. Anyway, I digress. So you then have, Becca and Austin. Becca still feels some type of way. She had fallen deeply in love with Austin, and now seeing him is painful for her. She doesn't know how to navigate that because she's trying to respect his personal space, but also at the same time, she still has feelings for this man and is trying to understand how she can move forward with that. Austin, on his part, says, he misses Becca. They've been in a good place. They've been texting and talking. And it's like, why are they discussing this in front of the rest of the group? Because everybody's going to go back and sort of tell the boss, who is Clad, Puppet Master. Apparently, she wasn't able to come because she had to see a client. I think she wasn't able to come because she was worried the producers would ask her questions about what Cameron had said in his confessional. That's my reasoning. I think that's what she did. So, you have Austin say they've been chatting, they've been in a good place. He still has feelings for Becca, but he's trying to move on. And then you have Orion and Lauren. I am happy that Lauren was able to sort of shut down Orion in front of everyone, because Orion has been showing two sides. To the rest of the group, he pretends to be loving, caring, compassionate towards Lauren, and then with Lauren, he's just the meanest thing ever. So Lauren is like, I am moving on and I am happy. I'm in a very good space. I don't want anything to do with Orion. I'm at peace. I sent him a message and he went, well, I felt like you were psychoanalyzing me. I felt like you were attacking me. And it's like, please sit down. You know what you did was wrong during your marriage, and then somebody told you were wrong, and then you tried to revamp your character by coming back and pretending to sort of care about Lauren and want to sort of make amends with her. And now that she's not feeding you what you expected her to feed you, now you want to sort of turn it around and make her be the villain. I think he knew he was going to come out as a villain, and I think this is why he's been constantly pushing to try and mend their relationship with Lauren. But it's too late. It's too late. And I give Lauren a lot of credit for telling him, I don't need a response from you. I'm happy to move on. I wish you all the best, and we're done. It's sad to say, but I really have developed a lot of dislike for this group of women. I think the only people I can stand, or the only people I like in this group, are Lauren and maybe Becca, because Emily has really opened my eyes to a different side of her, which sort of vindicates Brennan, which I never thought would happen, because he always said she was very negative and he didn't like the negativity. But seeing her on the after party is a totally different person. It makes you wonder what the producers saw, what they edited out, and what they kept in, and what sort of narrative they were trying to set for her. Because she then starts talking and complaining that, we came in fully prepared to be married, and the boys, you were not fully prepared to be married, and we feel like you cheated us out of an experience. And it's like, please, why are you generalizing everybody else's marriages? Because everybody else was on a different path. Orion didn't feel her. He's already said on day 2 he had checked out and was looking for an excuse on what to say or do to break up with her. Found an excuse and he checked out, according to his own words. Brennan, whatever happened to the two of you, only you two know what happened. And then apparently Emily went out and kissed a guy or cheated with someone, and the guys found out, and Brennan was not happy, but the producers decided not to show that bit. And then with Becca and Austin, I don't know whether he was not attracted to Becca. He seems to be heartbroken that she broke up with him, but I don't know why he behaved the way he behaved during the experiment. So you can't sort of justify that to say it's the same as what Emily went through. No, it's not. It's a totally different journey. In regards, Cameron was interested in his marriage. He tried to give words of affirmation to Claire. He tried everything he could, but Claire sadly didn't seem like she was prepared to put up with him or was prepared to be married to him. So they ended up breaking up. And so you can't knock that, and you can't sort of equate that to what everybody else went through. So it makes me question what these women are busy telling one another, what their sort of narrative they're trying to create for themselves. And I feel like, as Cameron said, I feel like Claire is the one who's the puppet master in the background and is telling the girls what to say and what buzzwords to use. That way they look like victims and the guys look like the villains. So you have Michael meet up with his friend to discuss decision day. He says he's decided to speak to his married friend because he thinks he will have a better picture or a better idea of what is best for Michael. And so they have this conversation where Michael is talking about the fact that, he is nervous or is anxious because he wants to make sure that the positives far outweigh the negatives. So he's worried about the fact that he might, not say yes because there's too many negatives, or he might say no because there's too many negatives. When whatever he was thinking, it didn't make sense to me. And I'm surprised. I think he should have listed his worries. He should have listed the fact that he's worried about the fact that Chloe wants to foster 5 children in one go. You should have listed the fact that he's worried that Chloe wants to have old MacDonald in the back garden. And so that way his friend could have given him the best advice. Yes, his friend told him the anxiety never goes away when you're married or when you have children. So don't think everything is going to be perfect. Things are never going to always be 100% perfect. You're going to have to work through certain things. And so I don't get why Michael was saying he's not sure. I don't get, unless it's the fear of the number of people or the number of people and animals is going to have to take on board in order to stay married to Chloe. which I understand. I understand. I don't want to minimize that. And then you have Becca speak to her therapist. Becca is still in love with Austin. Becca was all in. Becca, if anyone were to complain to the boys to say she was shortchanged, I would take Becca saying something. The other girls, not so much. I'll take Becca and Lauren actually saying something. Whereas the rest of them, I'm not really empathizing with them. So she's talking about the fact that she feels like her anxiety sort of hindered their progress. And she might be right to some extent, but I think Austin also had these barriers up because he had certain expectations, and whether it was he wasn't attracted to Becca, or whether it was the fact that he was worried that she was very poorly. I don't know what it is. And it's sad that Becca's still stuck in this place, and it's a good thing that she spoke to a therapist, and her therapist is sort of trying to get her sort of understand what went wrong and trying to get her to continue to move on. It's a pity. I hope they reach an understanding with Austin at some point. I said this last time. I said once things have cooled down, I want them to have an open and honest conversation and actually discuss what happened. And I wish we'd also find out what happened with the producer that he went out with, because I think that would answer a lot of questions. So you have the rest of the ex-wives, the ex-wives, you have them meet up, and Becca has arranged this photo shoot for the girls. She did discuss it with her therapist, and it's sort of like an empowerment project because the girls feel like they showed up for marriage, but their husbands were not ready to be married, and they feel like they were shortchanged, and they feel like their power was taken away from them by the guys. And so this is meant to uplift them and help them sort of redefine who they are as people. And so the goal was to speak about what you hate about your body and what you like about your body. And so I would have appreciated this project had Emily and Claire not been there, because sadly the Emily that I've seen on the after party, that's not an Emily I saw on Married at First Sight, and sadly I hate that version of her. She's just as good as I'm a good person. That's the impression that I get. Claire, I hate how, knowing full well that her marriage to Cameron didn't work out, she still allowed her friend to attack Cameron and say, why didn't Cameron come to the bar after his procedure? Because that wasn't a major procedure. He could still walk, so he should have come. And it's like, you don't know how he was feeling before, and you don't know how he's feeling after. So because of that, I have a very bad taste in my mouth for Emily. It was cute. Don't get me wrong. It was cute. It was empowering. To those that like that sort of thing, that's not my cup of tea. And so I don't know. We'll see. I feel like this group of ladies it's sad. It's sad because they've taken tearing each other down to a new level, in the sense that misery likes company. I said this about Claire before. Claire's marriage didn't work out, and she made it a point to make sure that all the other women felt the same about their husbands. She talked badly about Brennan wanting to go on double dates, and then she reported, Austin for going out with the producer. I feel like she was there just for herself, and when she didn't get what she wanted, then she decided nobody else would have what they got. And so it's sad that she's part of this project. I would rather she had not been there. You have Michael and Chloe meet up, and so they're sort of going out to this little cabin just to reminisce before they get to decision day. And for me, I don't know how I feel about Michael and Chloe anymore, because Michael, to say that he's anxious, he doesn't know if it's with the positive out for either good. And it's like, Michael, you should have had a plan when you came in the second time. You should have known what you wanted. Even the experts, when they sit down to have a conversation, are questioning why he's saying that he's not sure if he wants to get married. Because when he came back a second time, he told them that his first experience proved to him that he really wanted to get married. So the idea that you'd say he doesn't think he's ready doesn't make sense. And I can't wait to hear what their decision is. I want to say that I'm surprised that that was the final decision, but I'm not. I think Michael, I'm going to say this. I think Michael wanted to be on the show. And I think when his first marriage failed, he agreed to come back on just because he wanted his 15 minutes of fame. Because there's no justification for him to say all the positive things he said about Chloe and then turn around and say, well, I'm not ready. No, you were never ready. You just came on because you wanted to be on the show and you felt like your time had been cut short, and this is why you came on, because there's no justifiable reason for him to give her hope and to give the experts hope that he's going to say yes and then turn around and say no. I don't get it. I think for Chloe, Michael must have checked the boxes. I think the fact that he's got a high paying job, the fact that he's got stability and she's attracted to him after the boxing match, I think this is why she said yes. Michael, I think, was put off by the fact that she wanted old McDonald and she also wanted to foster 5 kids at a time. And I think this is why he is saying no. But then again, it's like, why would you come on the show? Why would you ask to be rematched when you knew you were not ready to be married? Were you not ready to be married, or were you not ready to be married to someone like Chloe? Make it make sense. And the fact that he's saying, oh, I didn't realize that I would have to give up so much. And it's like, what do you think a marriage is? What do you think a marriage is? You could see Pastor Carl's face dropped. I can't wait for, the reunion, because you do get the experts sit down with the couples and have conversations. So I can't wait to see or hear what Pastor Carl says in regards his opinion when, Michael said no. I don't think Michael should have said no. I think Michael and Chloe should have kept going. They should have had conversations about their expectations in this marriage, and then they would have been fine, because otherwise there really wasn't that much sort of working against them as compared to the other couples. Chloe was right to say that she would rather Michael not be in if he's not ready. Apparently he wasn't ready to give her everything she needed, so she was happy with that, but she still maintains that she was happy to say yes and continue with their marriage. But hey, it is what it is. You can't force a relationship. I wish them all the best, and I hope they continue to be on a good note. They surprised me because they had a Kristen and Mitch situation whereby they kissed after they said no. And it's like, if you're saying no, why are you kissing? Are you ending your relationship with a kiss, or are you going to continue to sort of date each other in the real world and then see whether, you can make things work? Which is it? I don't get it. Anyway, I digress. It was a great episode and I can't wait. Apparently the reunion is coming and it looks like it's going to be fire. It's going to be lit and I can't wait for it, because sadly Claire opened the door by saying they were muzzled by the boys. And in doing that, the boys are now coming guns blazing and ready for war. And I can't wait to see what happens. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 22. Bye guys.